Get ready for this one. We're looking at Blood Maykrs today. What is their actual purpose? How do they fare in battle? Do they need balanced? Are they fun? So much to talk about today. Let's dive right on in. So, did you know that Blood Maykrs have almost as much health as a Tyrant? They have 8,000 as opposed to 10,000, but it's not really a fair comparison because of the way each enemy is designed. You can also do just under the head on a neck shot, that's how you see the staggers, but overall they're completely different. So we need to talk about this today, first of all. So everybody has an opinion on Blood Maykrs for sure. We'll be going over that. But the first thing we have to break down before anything else is what are they for? What is their design purpose that the devs probably were thinking of? Well, firstly, they're meant to be an extreme pressure unit, an end game, last level of the DLC pressure. They're meant to be that type of enemy that when you see them on the battlefield, you go, oh crap, I gotta focus on these. And there's a couple cues and reasons that I think that is. It's kind of like when you see a pain elemental. You're like, yep, gotta get that guy. Or an archvile, like, yep, if I forget about him, I'm gonna have a bad day. Same thing with the Blood Maykrs. I know players have joked before about how, like, oh, when you hear a Blood Maykr, it's like so loud when they get out on the field. And it's like, wow. But you know what? That's probably by design. Horrible impression aside, that they want you to know, it wants you to know, hey, you're about to have a bad day if you leave this Blood Maykr alone. And that is by design. They want to make them hard, but did they go overboard? There are a lot of players out there that feel that they do, and I kind of like Blood Maykrs, but they need a little balancing, and we'll talk about how. So one thing that we have to say, very important from the get-go, you can't use mods as an example. There's a very famous master level mod, Delta's UAC Atlantica, that he made just as a joke, just for him to mess around, not being serious, and he released it. And you cannot use that as an example and say, well look, these Blood Maykrs suck because look at all of them there. When you have 3 and 4 in a room at a time, you have to think about, they were not designed for that purpose. They were meant to be 1, 2, maybe 3 like in the Slayer Gate for the Holt. And as players get better and as we move things along, we'll find new ways to deal with them, and we'll find better things to do. Like a possessed Blood Maykr dies to a precision bolt headshot, but not a ballista one. You can just knock them out just like that, but they're still really fast. So as we get better, we'll figure out better ways to handle things. But they weren't meant to be like infinitely buffed, possessed. That just, it's overtuning the design that they were meant to have. So we can't use mods as an example for that at all. And the reason that these guys are so problematic is a couple things. They have the regular shot, and that's fine, and that's great. The main problems people have come down to two things. And by the way, be sure to like and subscribe if you dig this video, and check out my second channel. I make videos on tech, business, and money news. Link in the description below. Did you expect that twist? I just waved my fingers at the camera and it's not even on. Okay, so the first thing is you ready for it? Headshot. Yes, the timing of the headshot. If you don't like the Marauder, you probably won't like this guy. And if you don't like this guy, you probably won't like the Marauder, because the game makes you wait to open up that window. Now, you can bait them out by getting closer to them and kind of make it happen for yourself. But the thing about it is, why I think the devs made the decision the way they did, is they want to reward a skill shot. They want to make it to where, and I agree with skill shots, that you are rewarded for learning how to do something, which in this case is a headshot. Now, I know some people may say, well, they give all this ammo, and drones give all this health, and blah, 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 all that stuff. But the point is, you are supposed to learn the game, get that black belt, and learn how to just, boom, headshot them on the fly, just like that, and you are rewarded for it. Yeah, you can still do an almost headshot, get a stagger. You can use a BFG to bring their armor down and tendril stun them, that's fine too. But the whole point, learn the headshot. Now, a lot of people are going to do the quick scopes with the precision bolt or the ballista, but one thing that people miss is Chrono strike. Chrono is king. It is so good, and people neglect it, and I get it. It's not one of my favorite runes nowadays because it does slow down the flow of combat, but there is no denying, especially if you're an Ultra Nightmare. If you haven't done UN, you got to listen to this, even if you have listened to. Chrono makes Blood Maykrs so much easier. The Samur boss fight, so much easier, because that slowdown gives you time to get that shot in, and basically takes their 1.5 second window and turns it into like, what, a 3.5 second window for getting that shot off, as long as you're in the air. It is so good. You can even do the unmodded ballista trick that I did for the drones before the DLC came out. I'll link that video here. You need to watch it. It basically turns your ballista into a chrono machine that will help you if, you know, your accuracy is a little off or if you're worried and shaky. You've got to watch the video. I promise you. I will not waste your time with it. So that's the thing. Chrono's there. You got to use it. But the slowdown is the problem here too. In a game that is so fast and your pace is going and you're going crazy good and everything, to be slowed down is kind of a bummer. That's the main thing that people had with the microwave beam and the destroyer blade, especially starting out. I'm playing Doom. I want to go fast. You know, if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby style, you know? And that's the thing, the slowdown, especially on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, it's not just the fact that you're slowing down, it's how deadly it is. I mean, there's just no, you're basically forced to pull out the shield and pull up your shield. I mean, you basically have to. The slowdown is crippling. I almost feel like it could be tuned down a little bit. And when you have that combined with bugs like when Devo was hit on the Horde Mode 2 mod, he basically went from full stack down to low health thanks to the low health warning. And from what I'm understanding, their Blood Maykrs, they have a bug to where they double up their damage on you. Now, there may have been something else in the arena that hit him, sure, and yes, it's a mod, but this isn't just exclusive to mods, from my understanding. That makes it even worse when you have all that. I mean, you got the double health bug and then slowdown, just everything on top of it. Now, I think they could be balanced. A little bit less slowdown and a little more time for the headshot. To still keep that skill shot in there, but give it a little more breathing room. The thing is, the devs can't undertune the Blood Maykr because then it'll make it too easy. It'll take that pressure away, that oh crap feeling that you get when they spawn. If they completely remove the slowdown, then yeah, I can see that there's got to be a way, just without adding more damage, to balance. Maybe a bigger headshot window to give players a little more room, so it's just not like boom, done, like that. There's just ways that they can do. Like, I personally do not mind fighting them until they screw me hard like that. So, I mean, I get it. It gets a little frustrating. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Doom Eternal series, but I think it's worth talking about things that could be adjusted. The biggest fans of the series are the ones that want it fixed the most, and you'll find that in a lot of the bug posts. Some of the game's most passionate players are some of the most vocal, but I think there's a right and a wrong way to go about voicing your concerns. Now, here's the thing, too. The Samur Blood Maykr puts you under pressure for a purpose. Let's break this down here. So when you kill him, you get a full ammo refill, 20 seconds to spawn. So how are you going to spend that 20 seconds? Are you going to be efficient with it? How are you going to do it? It puts that timer on you, that additional pressure, like, hey, this guy's going to come back. I have to do something fast. So when I kill that Blood Maykr, I instantly try to transition into beast mode. You know, I go, I'm like, all right, I got 20 seconds. Let's deal as much damage as fast as I can while keeping myself safe, because it adds that challenge. Now look back in Phase 4. The eyes have a 10-second spawn if you kill both of them. So kill one of them. You can do a rocket or a lock-on or whatever, and then just focus out there with the Blood Maykr around. It's all a combat puzzle. Eternal asks this in various ways back to, you know, the cultist-based mines and traps and all that stuff. If they give you a combat puzzle, they want you to solve it. So in this one, you stay up high, you figure the puzzle out, and you deal with them that way. The triple Holt gate, you basically want to go after those Blood Maykrs as soon as they come in. Like right away, because of their high priority. And they need to be a cool high priority enemy. They're only in one map of the game up through DLC 1, and that's the whole point of them. They're supposed to be difficult. They're supposed to put pressure on you, and if the devs pull back on it, they're going to be too much weaker maybe. And shoot, I wish the Unmaker did more to them. It takes like 10 shots to be able to mess them up, but I just wish it did more. You know, it's the Unmaker. It's a heavily costly weapon. It should do more to them. You know what I mean? That's a whole other video topic though. They just need balance is also what it comes down to. So let me know in the comments below if you think they're good or fun, balanced, whatever. My name is Allstin. See you later. Subscribe to the channel. Bye. Here's a secret phrase. Comment it down below. Bloodshot Maykr 9001.